3, 2, 1. How's it going, guys? We got a fun video for you today. We're going to be taking Zombie Scarlet Witch into the playtest, into war practice, and seeing just how influential she's going to be on the war landscape. Before we do that, though, I do want to break down just the gist of this team, because I do think it's been a skip team by a lot of people. Maybe they're going to think about investing in it this time around for a multitude of reasons. So I want to do a quick dive into what these Undying characters actually do, right? So the first thing I do when I need to understand a team is I got to look at the team's passives. So let's quickly break it down. Hela's got her summon mechanic that does turn meter rewinds, applies bleed, takes revives off. Zim, he'll mind control enemies that have bleed, making them hit the enemy character with the lowest life on that enemy's turn. He gives the Undying characters, he gives the zombie characters speed up on spawn. Hela does not get it. When Zombie Iron Man is above 50% life, all allies cannot gain stuns. It's not just Undying, it's all allies. Zugs, he's a spawn taunt. He will make sure enemies cannot gain speed up when he is at or above 50% life. So this is huge. Characters like the Illuminati team, like Spider-Man Pav, Tangled Web, trying to think of other speed up characters. None of them will be able to get speed up on spawn. By the way, yeah, so if you bring in Undying into Superior 6, he will stop Vulture from stealing your speed up in war. Alright, then there's Zombie Scarlet Witch, the new edition. Her big part of her passive is that when she is at or above 50% life, no Undying characters can get trauma. Not the same as Zombie Iron Man when it's all allies. It's just none of the Undying characters can gain trauma. And when she is at or above 50% life, no enemies can gain speed bars. So this is the Captain Britain effect, right? Essentially what they did. Zug's passive is acting like the Black Panther passive. Hers is just villains can't gain speed up if she's charged. And then Zombie Scarlet Witch is activating that Captain Britain passive where there's no speed bar on spawn. This will be very impactful, as it is going to stop a character like Skrull from getting speed bar on spawn and actually directing you. And there's a lot of Skrull teams that are currently in play right now. So those are the passives, right? It's like, yes, we should go first in a lot of these matches. There are some characters like Black Cat we need to look out for along the way, or like Ares, but that's the gist of it. Let's talk about the general gist of the team, though. So Hela, her main goal is to spread divas. She's going to be the last character to go. If she dies, it's pretty much over for you. Zim is going to place those debuffs for Hela to spread. He's going to be putting ability block, trauma, which I guess Zuggernaut's putting trauma. We're going to talk about that as well. Disrupt, and then Hela's spreading everything but the trauma, right? And Zombie Iron Man has a 100% chance to revive when Hela is on the field, which makes him a good person to put next to Zugs. Zugs, when he gets hit, he's going to gain speed bar if he has charged. Then he's going to do like an opening, devastating damage, AoE, slow, and trauma. And then he does insane damage in his own right. With his abilities, they just hammer, right? Zombie Scarlet Witch, she's going to be doing a lot of stuff too. Like, she's going to be opening with Safeguard on her special. She's putting bleeds out there right away on all enemies. And she does insane damage too. These characters do other things too, right? Like Hela can call in assist. Zombie Iron Man can shift charges. He puts defense down. Zugs will prolong bleeds and do all kinds of other stuff. You know, Hela will summon a second summon when she drops below 50% life. Zombie Scarlet Witch clears barrier, she gives barrier, a bunch of stuff like that, right? So there's other stuff this team does, but this is kind of like the opening abilities. And let's be real, in Marvel Strike Force, you basically win in team draft, which is why we went over the passives first. And then what is your opening ability sequence, right? And this is what this is here. But there is something to be said about this team, because I did just identify that Zugs and Scarlet Witch rely heavily on their insane damage. So investing in Undying is tough, especially because, like, we have an event coming up this week where having the Undying characters at Gears tiers 17, 18, or 19 gets you extra points. But we didn't really get those events very much last year. So I'm not sure how many people have their Undying team built up, especially because it was very heavily a war team, and it worked great for what it was. But as a war team, and lots of people skip war teams, right? So if you were just starting to invest in them now, we're looking at, Hela and Zim. They're both farmable. Hela's regular. Zim is dark promo. Zim doesn't... I'm not going to say he doesn't benefit from red stars, because he does really good damage when he's actually fully built. But do you want the red stars? Like, does the average person who's going to be building up this team have dark promos to put into Zim? No. Right? Let's be real. No. Zug's not farmable. If you were a regular player at this time last year and you took part in his event, you probably got him 3-star there. When they reran his event, I think in like February or March, you probably got an extra star in him. So maybe have him at 4 stars. They're going to be giving away the 4 red stars for him. But again, dark promos. And because he relies on that insane damage, and if he dies before he gets up to 5 charges, or unless you bring Dormammu, it's tough, man. Zombie Scarlet Witch will bring back a different Zuggs, but hey, Zombie Scarlet Witch, also not farmable, and she's not going to be farmable for a long time. And they didn't say she's dark promos, but we're all just kind of assuming she is because they're taunting her, flaunting her red stars as kind of being like the big bonus of wailing out on her. And when there's no Zuggernaut on the field, she will summon a Zuggernaut, but that's a summon. It's going to be based on her stats. So once again, Zuggs, Scarlet Witch, neither farmable. Their insane damage is really good, and you rely on it a lot for this team. So when you don't have them wailed out on, most of the community is this team then a trap. Well, let's go ahead. Let's do some exploring. Let's do a bunch of actual gameplay now, and we'll talk about it. Now, unfortunately, the testing I'm going to be doing, I have all these characters at 7 red, 7 yellow, crimson geared, including Scarlet Witch in the playtest. I really wish I could have got a smaller team, but I just wasn't around to ask for it. So we'll talk about the pitfalls. I do think there are pitfalls. I think certain characters are going to rock this team, and I'm excited to try and show you that. I'm not trying to say don't build this team. I'm not trying to say do build this team and you should wail out. I'm just trying to get you guys as best unbiased information as possible. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's run that and do some more practice. Here we go. All right, so let's start off with something easy. We're going to do Undying. I'll use Robbie Reyes as the 5th, but I think there's a lot of characters you can summon as the 5th here. I kind of like Dormammu the best, to be honest with you, which is fine, just another Flame and Skull. But having that extra revive on Zuggernaut off the gate is really nice. There's another character I really like, Ares, but then you're kind of putting 2 super powerhouses into one team. Does that feel good? Well, it depends on who you're taking out, right? But we'll do a bunch of matches and we'll talk about it. So, Orchis, new raid team, right? It's going to be interesting to see how this functions here. This would apply Disrupt. It would put Bleed on everybody. It would give me Safeguard, apply immunity to myself. Unavoidable can be blocked, but they all spawn with immunity themselves, so they're not going to get any of those bleeds. We do take out that summon, though. How big is this enemy team, by the way? Let's see. Maxed out? It is maxed out. Okay, good. Now, Zuggernaut, he will flip these immunities first, and then you see he puts those nasty debuffs out there. You saw Zombie Scarlet Witch stops that Scientist Supreme over here from even getting a turn, so we're super ahead of the 8-ball. Nimrod probably has the highest speed because the summon did exist for a little bit there. And now we see the mind control damage coming into effect. I'll actually hit away from that Nimrod because I don't want to kill him too quickly. And you can see just the straight up damage that we're doing here is enough that it looks really good. This looks really good. It looks like we're not relying on the gimmick that is Zombie Iron Man to get this done, which is cool. But it also means we gotta take some harder teams. Because if this is just like a free win at lower stars, like that's great. Oh, my Zombie Scarlet Witch is actually only 5 stars. Okay, good. 5 red. Is she actually 5 red or is that just a visual glitch? No, she's 5 red. Perfect. Okay. Well, not perfect. Still too big, but better than nothing. Let's see this animation. Okay. So I see some big numbers, had about 2 million damage across the board. That is really good. It would have also cleared any barrier the enemy had on. So that's interesting as well. This guy, he's at 5 charges. Well, he's probably going to do a lot more damage than she did. Get him with the arm. He just hits so much harder than everybody. Yeah, I see like 4 million damage. Kind of crazy. Okay, so Orchis, easy clap. Let's go try something else. All right, so Orchis was easy. Let's try this at a time. Actually, I'm just going to take Ghost Rider straight out of this. And let's go in here now. So in this instance, when Black Knight doesn't have charges, he won't gain any speed bar if Scarlet Witch is above 50% life, right? Now, the enemy is protected with the immunities, just like we had before. Cosmic Ghost Rider would stop us from landing things. Yeah, so he did stop it. I was wondering how that was going to work, because Zombie Juggernaut reduces their resistance when he's above a certain life by above 50%. I believe he reduces it by like 75%. And then Hela increases our life by a giant amount as well. I think about 90%. So I was interested in how that interaction was going to work. But as opposed to without Zombie Scarlet Witch, you see that safeguard protected us from the Cosmic Ghost Rider. Now we're getting to do some damage here. They can actually get debuff now. The Hela's Summons are they keep dying, which is great. Lots of turn meter rewind is in play. We can get this barrier gone. Supposed to remove barrier, not give barrier. Oh, I ulted, right. I ulted into a Cosmic Ghost Rider. Okay, so that's kind of a zero-sum game. This would remove charges. I guess it also gives defense down. Let's just go for the defense down for now, I suppose. Okay, didn't land on the Captain America. Probably deflected it. Okay, so this is where it gets interesting. So you see that our zombie Scarlet Witch, she might be dropping below 50% life. And then when Black Knight starts losing all of his charges, he will start getting the speed bar. But I also see that we are kind of in danger of just not doing enough damage. We're already at 3 minutes, and Peggy Carter is still going to do Peggy Carter stuff. But Zombie Scarlet Witch also has permit kills. Anybody that she kills is gone forever. I think Zuggernaut has some stuff like that too. We keep rewinding them. I probably should be letting them take their turns. That way, like they drop the safeguard and all that kind of stuff. All right, there we go. Oh, another thing that I found during my testing here is Cosmic Ghost Rider's ultimate is 100% a permanent kill. It doesn't say it in his kit, but it is 100% a permanent kill. Okay, so we got rid of the Black Knight there. Now we have slow on everybody. We got the disrupt on Captain America. So we win, right? It took us a while to get there, but we are definitely going to win this. I'll go ahead and load up Peggy with a bunch of nasty debuffs. See, that Juggernaut damage is huge. See, this is what I mean, though. Like, if Juggernaut wasn't doing this sort of damage, we would just have never killed that Black Knight. Maybe we would just stall out forever, but also maybe, like, Cosmic Ghost Rider would one-shot my Zombie Scarlet Witch, because he did attack her with that ultimate, right? If she was smaller, maybe she would have got one-shot by this, so... Oh, it's just so tough for me to even discuss this team, because it's not just one Captain Britain. It kind of feels like the new Captain Britain as well as an old Captain Britain, right? In the form of Zuggernaut. So I'm just going to cancel out of this. Let's go do a different fight. This is obviously done. It's just taking too long. All right, so this is a giant maxed out Illuminati. This should be very similar to the At a Time in the Orchis. This should be pretty easy. This is going to be like the last free match I do. I just want to show the various things like speed bar from Scientist Supreme getting stopped is clutch. The speed up from Illuminati getting stopped is clutched, and just surviving the kind of damage that Out of Time puts out there, because they do have a lot of perma kills out of time, so it's something you got to worry about. Let's go ahead and put a disrupt over here on the Captain Britain. You see the enemy did not gain speed up, and we did. Let's go ahead and give them slows and traumas. All right, Hank makes it so they can't get slow. That's fine. Now we load up the Hank with a bunch of debuffs. Let's get Greg to take himself out. And then Hela should go next. Ah, Black Panther goes first, but we are protected with our Juggernaut getting that safeguard plus taunt. Now Hela spreads. And now the enemy will, well, with the exception of Panther, because she did take her turn, they'll take themselves out. And they're not going to get healed because they do have trauma from Juggernaut's attack there. Interesting that Hela didn't get to go first there. I do find that very interesting. So yeah, let's watch this Juggernaut damage again. This probably kills Captain Britain and Black Bolt. So yeah, you see this is just like clockwork. Nothing really to worry or concern yourself with here. There goes the barrier, and away we go. All right, it's time to test this team. We got to test this team against like Annihilators Skrull, Annihilators Odin, Annihilators Mephisto. Let's go give them a real test. All right, so this is Annihilators with Skrull and Odin. I'm gonna leave Robbie Reyes in here this time. This would be a pretty tough matchup. It'd be even tougher if it was Mephisto. In fact, if it was Mephisto, we probably have to bring like Odin. Like, I don't think we can get through with anything less than Odin at that point. But let's see if we can reach this Odin. So we stop speed bar, we stop speed up. We can get bleed on everybody here, so they're gonna hurt themselves. That's nice. Didn't land on Gorg. Gorg can't get bled, right? Okay, we're still stuck on the safeguard though. And this is the more interesting thing, right? The newer teams are a lot scarier. All right, so we get trauma on the people we can. Can't load him up with debuffs, so that's not great. There goes the ult from Thanos. Okay. Zombies are dying. Like, that's cool, but Odin can't get rewound here. Now, Odin just did a counterattack, so I do believe his battlefield effect will be in play. So let's cover him with debuffs and see what we can do here. He's gonna cleanse himself. Yeah, that's not great. That's a nasty battlefield effect we now have to fight through. I would definitely need to tunnel him down, try and get the Skrull out at the same time. We didn't get to the Odin in time. This is just death. I think his passive is a permakill too, right? Oh, well, that gore is definitely a permakill. All right, this gets rid of the barrier. Gets rid of his buffs too. Ouch. Okay. Hella's doing her damn best. Okay. There goes Scarlet Witch. There goes Hella, and that's a wrap. Okay. If we could have got to him faster, maybe that'd be something. So let's go bring in somebody that gets rid of that safeguard. So the more I think about it, the more I kind of feel like Ares is probably better than Apocalypse. Like if I needed to sacrifice one of them here, it would be Apocalypse. So let's go find Apocalypse and we'll throw him in there. Try not to show anything I'm not allowed to show. In fact, let me just go ahead and do one of these real quick. Okay. Oh yeah, I was right there. Okay. All right, here we go. We're back. Sorry about that little black screen teaser for you. Yeah. So let's go ahead and get in here. It's just their portraits. You already know the characters, but still. Okay. So we'll get the bleeds out there, but this time Zuggernaut will get that taunt and stuff off. Okay. So now the question is that enough for us to be able to take out this Odin? We're gonna find out. Him doing a mind control isn't the best thing. Okay, but yeah, so here Apocalypse is gonna take out the Odin, and from here it's a free win, right? Because Scarlet Witch is doing the thing. The enemy hasn't taken a single turn yet. We would get those flips. I guess the question would be like, I wouldn't put the zombie Iron Man special on Odin. I would have put it on, say, I probably would have put it on either Gore or on Gladiator, because Apocalypse flips the defense up to defense down. So then we'd have ability block, we'd have all kinds of stuff. I bet we would still win this particular matchup. But if I had a smaller team, I definitely need to flex play it. Because look, people wailed out on the new arena team, Endgame Thanos. So would your, presumably, if they do give it to us free to play, would a free to play 2-star Scarlet Witch survive a giant Endgame Thanos passive? That's a question. It's a question I'm not sure I can answer. All right, let's go find ourselves a Mephisto. All right, so we found ourselves a Mephisto, very similar team to what we just saw. And there is also a Skrull and Ares here. Now, Ares, I think, is going to be a popular potential counter to Undying. But here's the thing. Lots of people like to put Ares currently with Orchis on defense. That doesn't even affect the current Undying, so it's definitely not going to affect the new Undying teams. But we do have Mephisto here, so there's going to be lots of buffs. I brought my own Ares just to get the taunt off of Gladiator, so I can start not on him. I get to start over there on the Ares instead. Alright, so this is also obviously perma kills, right? Because there is a Mephisto on the field. So because Ares took our speed up away, the Skrull got to go first, which is interesting. I would have thought my Greg would have gone first, but okay. Okay, so our Ares is already dead. And the taunt is reapplied. I'm confused as to... I'm just very confused as to why Gladiator's going first after... I know, like, the Gregs dying don't give it after the Mephisto. I would have thought our Skrull would not have gone first, though. Okay, obviously not going to work. So let's go ahead and let's bring in a big boy and see if that would fix this. So, well, Ares is the big boy. Let's bring the biggest boy in here, though. Maybe I spoke too soon. Let's play it out. I don't know. I'm getting an opportunity to play it out. I still have the Undying characters. Let's not quit just yet. And okay, now we can quit. All right, so I'm gonna bring Odin, who has no ISO and is 6 stars instead of 7. Who cares? Okay, let's just go in and see what happens. Very curious to see, because technically, my Odin should go before the Skrull, right? That calls in an Odin assist, so my battlefield effect is in play. And now I can do the special. So yeah, I will be pinging away now. The enemy Skrull shouldn't get speed bars, so we should have an opportunity here. Let's get Safeguard out there. Zombie Scarlet Witch is still above 50% life. So one thing that could have happened there that we should talk about. Ares takes the taunt off Zuggernaut, right? If you have a baby Scarlet Witch and somebody's giant-ass Skrull targets you... Oh, here we go. We're going to lose our buffs. And Skrull targets Zombie Scarlet Witch. Does your Zombie Scarlet Witch get pushed below 50% life? And you immediately start having to deal with Skrull speed bar mechanics again? Okay, so we lost Zuggernaut and we lost Zim. Mephisto's on the field. That was a lucky target from the Ares. Okay. Is that a dead Hela? No, it is a dead Mephisto though. So Odin just carried this. Did the Undying do anything? I think so. Because Turn Me to Rewind became back on the menu after Odin deleted the Mephisto battlefield effect. We did get Zuggernaut special, right? For slows, did we? Maybe not. Maybe he got rewound by Skrull right away. I think we got some Zim passives. We stopped the Skrull. Yeah, no. So if we didn't have Zombie Scarlet Witch, we would not stop the Skrull from getting way more speed bar than he got in this situation. So we would not have won. All right. Let's go test just a couple more things out. Okay, now this is a super interesting one. So I don't really get to see Mercs running on defense very much, but if I did, and if I saw with Odin, this would be it, right? Undying, stop the Panda from getting speed bar, stop Logan from getting speed bar when he gets hit, no speed bar to Docking if I go into stealth, nothing like that. So what I would do in this situation is I would just tunnel down the Odin, as you saw me do before. I might put the ability block over here, to be honest with you. Just because I know Odin can clear it himself when I mind control. Alright, we are decimating this enemy team right now. Okay, so Dawkins permanently killed. Let's get some bleeds out there. Let's spread it off Odin. Okay, so Odin is going to take a turn, though. That's... Ooh. Does Odin solo us, I guess is the question. Panda lost his revive chance now. That's good. Okay, so Panda's gone. I think Odin solos us, though. The same way Odin soloed the last team. I bet Odin solos us here. Eating his ultimate is not really going to be a thing. Well, if anyone was going to do damage to Odin, it would be Juggernaut. I guess not. I guess not. We got Death Proofs, we got Safeguard. It would be great if Zombie Iron Man would strip these charges while Hela would survive it. Clearly, Zombie Scarlet Witch would be dead here if you don't crack it out. Obviously. I can't believe this Scarlet Witch is still alive right now. Okay, well, I spoke way too soon. Okay, so maybe if I played that out differently, I killed the Odin. I think I could have killed the Odin. Obviously, you didn't have to bring Robbie here. Could have brought again Apocalypse here, cleared that out. I think that's worthwhile. Could have brought in, well, anyone that would have done just huge damage to the Odin, really. Who else could have done huge damage to the Odin? I think there's lots. I think there's lots of options. Okay, that's interesting. Let's just talk about the overall vibes we're getting here. All right, so the verdict on this team is actually the next day. Did some more testing, have a good grasp on this team. And I don't want to lie to you, so I'm going to give you the unbiased truth, and that the team is S tier when it's big, right? So the fact that they can carry Odin to beat a Skrull, Mephisto, Annihilator team speaks volumes. It's an offense-only team, is the Undying. So it allows those people to have a master key against an option that is that nuclear that could be put on the defense, while then being still able to put that team on the defense. It just is the truth. But it needs to be pretty, it doesn't need to be giant to do that. But, you know, we saw how the red stars from Zuggernaut played into effect of just him living long enough for Odin to pop off, and the Scarlet Witch, you know, lasting long enough so that the Skrull doesn't do his thing, because if you try and do that matchup with literally anything else, like, you just get overrun very quickly. But that Scarlet Witch passive is huge. Could it still work if you had a 2-star Scarlet Witch, which I think is going to be the free-to-play level? Maybe. I just think there would be much bigger elements of RNG in that, and there's other issues with the team that I do think we need to talk about. So when you have the free-to-play version, I'm thinking it's going to be like a B+, anywhere between B+ and A+, depending on what you want from War. They're going to annihilate giant raid teams. They're going to annihilate problematic mid-game defenses that you as a new player may not have the answers for, right? So Weapon X and Underworld, great examples. Teams that start with speed bar that are really big headaches for anyone who didn't play during those teams' heyday to tackle. Scarlet Witch at 2 stars, just with her passive, is going to stop that speed bar they get, and then the rest of the Undying team, doesn't really matter how big they are. The controlling effects, then the enemies kill themselves, it's butter, right? It just works great. So I think that alone makes them B+. I didn't want to go higher just because I do see some issues, and I think I see where the game might be heading in the future that would hurt the Undying team even more. And I just think the best example of that is going to be this team right here. So this is Ares plus Alpha Flight up against Underworld. I can't really start it right now because it's either going to end instantly or it's going to instantly break the game. One or the other. But what is this team doing? So Ares, just like Black Cat would do, stops you from getting speed up on spawn. And then the Alpha Flight team has a speed mechanic that the Undying kits don't cover, right? So Zombie Juggernaut stops speed up on spawn, Scarlet Witch stops speed bar, but Alpha Flight says, nah. We are getting speed stat increases. So I do think that this could be one of the ways the game is headed, because we saw this first in Emma, then we saw it in New Avengers, now we're seeing it in the Alpha Flight team, and we're starting to get characters that stop the other speed methods. So, we have Juggernaut stops speed up, Vulture can stop it, Kang stops it, the speed up, there's a bunch of other characters that can stop it, also flip it, all kinds of stuff like that, right? Now we have characters that stop speed bar, so we have Gladiator in Arena stopping speed bar, North Star in Raids, Zombie Scarlet Witch in War, Captain Britain in Crucible. So it just makes sense that when Scopely wants to sell the next IT team for the mode, they're going to have to not rely on speed bar or speed up to make sure that they are impenetrable, right? So speed stat, I think, is something that's coming down the line. I just want to show you how this is going to play out because I thought this was really funny. And it does highlight, like, if your Undying team can't protect themselves right away, Zombie Scarlet Witch doesn't get the same sort of revive juices that the others get. So here we lose our pre-taunt, we lose our speed up, North Star gets to go first. Depending who Guardian hits, the game's either going to break or the match is going to end. If he hits Juggernaut, game breaks. Okay, so here he hit the Scarlet Witch. Now my Scarlet Witch is, well, first of all, she's basically dead. Now she is dead. And this is a 5-star Scarlet Witch, and I need to pause it before the match ends. Let's just go back to this page here. And I need to make it as clear as possible. This, I think, that I'm using is a really big Undying team. 7 red star Juggernaut, 5 red star Scarlet Witch. That's going to cost you a lot of money, or already has for the Juggernaut. The Alpha Flight I was just facing, that's a farmable team, doesn't rely on DPCs, so they're going to have diamonds. The enemy team here did not have diamonds. Imagine what a 3-diamond Guardian's going to do. Everyone got that from the last Kill in Tower, right? Well, not everybody, but a lot of people got it from the last Kill in Tower. So I do think that we need to temper our expectations from the free-to-play side because I'm not sure. I can't test what a 2-star Scarlet Witch with, say, a 4-star Juggernaut is going to be able to do on the Playtest right now. We're going to have to wait till that gets to the live server. But I do have my concerns that even if your Undying team gets to go first, Scarlet Witch does get the safeguard up, you got the defense up, you're getting ability blocks out there. What if Scarlet Witch at 2 stars against, say, a giant North Star who's got offense up on spawn? What if she immediately gets pushed and there's a Skrull on that Alpha Flight team? Like, I need to see how this is going to go. So that's why I left it at B+ instead of putting it to A+, which, if that's not the case, it will go to A+. If it's just Ares is like a super hard-on counter for them with speed stat, then they do become A+. But for now, had to temper the expectations, put it B+. But I'm super interested to know what you guys think about the team. How do you feel about its current use? You saw we beat up a lot of teams. We lost to some Odin stuff, which is to be expected. How did you feel about the footage you just saw? And what are your plans for this team? If you did like this video, please make sure you leave a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. But for now, guys, it's Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one.